Mein Freund, du bist schon wieder drauf. Hä?
Du musst dich jetzt einmal rumschwenken und wieder zurück.
Ja, dann bist du auch ganz drauf. Yeah, hi there. We're here at Ronny's place. I would like to show you what's going on here in Germany over the last 8 weeks. So several new tobaccos came up during the last 8 weeks. So that's mainly, not only, but mainly Christmas tobacco, winter tobacco, holiday season tobacco, however you may call it. So I know there's a lot of stuff out there in all the countries, different tobaccos, many good tobaccos, but I would like to focus mainly on the things going on here in Germany. So what reached the German market during the last 8 weeks. So, and these are, of course, these are all aromatics. So I don't know why. I've been talking about that in my, I think, several of my last videos regarding Christmas tobacco. I don't know, but it's mainly aromatic tobacco. So I know there are several non-aromatics, so natural tobaccos, but here on the German market, normally Christmas means aromatic tobaccos. So we're going to start with that because it's a lot of stuff that's coming out this year, and every year it's getting more and more. So I don't know why exactly. I think all the companies, they want to take their fair share, want to cut their piece from the market. So I'm going to start with that. So to be honest, I haven't thought about with which tobacco I should start. So let's just start with the Rattrays. So the Rattrays, I'm going to show you the tobacco. So I hope you can see that. So I'll show you the tobacco, and then I'm going to tell you what it is. So, but yeah, I want to be honest with you. All these tobaccos, when it comes to Christmas tobacco, they pretty much look the same. Well, it's always a bit of Virginia, mainly black Cavendish for the sweetness. The cut is not very interesting in most of the cases, so I show you. That's just an example. I don't know if you can see that. So it looks quite ordinary or quite normal or whatever you may call it. That's not necessarily a bad thing. So all these tobaccos, I assure you, they burn pretty well. Humidity in all these tobaccos is quite alright. You can pack that easily. Even for beginners, it's good to smoke that. So I don't think there's a single of these tobaccos really gives you any problems, or is really something I wouldn't recommend, or I would say, yeah, don't take that. So all these tobaccos, I think they tested that, and they play safe. I think these companies, they like to play safe when it comes to the Christmas tobaccos. So that's what it seems to me. So I'll tell you what they say, what is in here in the Rattrays Winter Edition 2016. So they say it's a master blend. So they have fresh waffles. There's a little of orange in it, and it's black Cavendish and Virginia. So I told you. Some chocolate notes, and there's a little hint of burley, and they say the chocolate note is related to burley. So maybe, yeah, it's a good tobacco. You can buy that. There's nothing complicated to it. Some chocolate notes, yes. The waffles, I don't know. It's mainly vanilla, but I think that's the case in most of these tobaccos. So it doesn't hurt, but it's nothing you would really, I don't know, you would really go for the rest of your life. So the price is 21 euros 80 cent. That's standard price, I think, normal price for a Christmas tobacco. So that's the first one, so the Rattray. We're gonna go on with the Rattray, I think. Where do we have it? So no, we're gonna change to the Kohlhase. So the Kohlhase, that's this one. So that's not precisely really something a winter tobacco where you see that. It's coming out now, but you see, well, there's an African landscape on it, and it's edition Africa. So there's some kind of Google Earth data on it. So to locate that precisely, I don't know. So I tell you what they say. Well, it's an interesting tobacco. They say, well, it's where you will feel the sweetness of the Tonka bean. Well, they explain what a Tonka bean is, African, yes, an African specialty. So they use it for desserts. Some kind of vanilla-like taste, and so on and so on. There's also a fruity component, and that's done by green apples. Well, and just a hint of citron. And they added some liquor, so Benedictine. Perhaps you know that Benedictine liquor. That's a famous liquor, so they produce it in France. I have been at the place where they produce it several years ago, so they say they're gonna add that. And yeah, the tobacco looks like Black Cavendish and Virginia, and they are right. So that's true. Looks like that. So I'm gonna show you the tobacco while it's still packed. I have an open sample here. I can show you that, or you can see it here. So there's nothing special to how it looks. So when it comes to the smell, I think you won't smell the Tonka bean. At least I couldn't. That's that one here. So let me take another whiff of that. Yeah, it's mainly vanilla. The smell is mainly vanilla. Some fruity notes. So the cut, I think the cut is really alright. So packs very well, burns easily. So now the Tonka bean. This is really something special. So most pipe smokers, they either like the Tonka bean or they hate it. So that's one of these flavors. You just like or you hate it. I'm not quite sure about that. So the Annandale flake, for example, that's a heavy Tonka bean, and the Samuel Gavitt, 1792, I think it's the name. This is with Tonka bean too, very special. So Ed did a review about that, or it was talking about that. You can watch it at Grandpa Cavendish. That's an interesting flake. So the Tonka bean inside this tobacco, I don't know, it's quite subtle. So it's not really in front. So you feel slightly, or you can taste slightly Tonka bean notes, but very far on the back, I think. So, and for me, this Tonka bean is always has a little bit soapy note. So this is something I don't really like. I don't want to say I'm one of these guys who hate the Tonka bean. I couldn't say that, but for me, it's too close to perfume. It's too close to perfume, or to floral notes. So you could call it floral notes, but for me it's a little bit too heavy floral notes. But that's just for me. So I know many of you guys like the Tonka bean. So if you like the Tonka bean, you can give it a shot. That's fine tobacco. Quality is quite alright. So this price is 22 euros 40 cents. That's from Kohlhase. And speaking of Kohlhase, there's another Kohlhase. That's the Kohlhase Winter Edition 2016. So, the Winter Edition, what's the difference here? So, they say, so let me see what they say. They say, oh, it's the same tobacco, it's Virginia, Black Cavendish, and so on. And they say they add a little bit of rum, a little bit of cinnamon, and they use some Black Cavendish, Burley Virginia, Broken Virginia, and that's very special, they add a little bit of Perique. So, I don't know, there are not many Christmas tobaccos done with Perique, I think. So they add a little bit of Perique. That's very special. Yeah, wonderful taste and so on. Of course. So I'm gonna show you the tobacco. So look at the tin art. You can discuss that. So I don't know. I heard several customers here they really like the tin art. I'm not so sure myself. Perhaps, I don't know, perhaps a bit too much. Anyway, we want to smoke the tobacco, so we don't care about the tin art much. So, yeah, really, if you smell that, it's really cinnamon. It's really cinnamon. That's not the average vanilla taste you have in the winter tobacco. So that's really strong cinnamon. It really smells like Christmas cookies a little bit, with cinnamon, with some special spices for these Christmas cookies, and I don't know. Perhaps a little bit of the pepperiness of the Perique, but maybe that's just an illusion, I don't know. So when it comes to the smoking, and when you smoke that tobacco, I think this is an interesting and fine tobacco. So it's a good winter tobacco. You have the cinnamon notes. The tobacco can stand its quality up to the last third of the bowl. So it's fine tobacco. And you even have a hint of the Perique if you smoke it. But that's just a hint, so don't get me wrong, that's nothing like a natural tobacco with heavy Perique or something like that. It's just enough spiciness that you normally have in, I don't know, pepper cookies or something special for the Christmas time. So, the price is 21 euros 80 cents for this Kohlhase Winter Edition. So, then we have two tobaccos from John Aylesbury. So John Aylesbury, German distributor. So I don't know. Let's start with that one. That's that's the Christmas or Winter Edition. How do they call it? Winter tobacco, they call it. So that's a loose cut mixture. They say so. It's medium cut from Black Cavendish and some Virginia Burley, some bright Virginia extra. So when it comes to the taste, so I have a catalog here. So of course I smoked all these tobaccos, but can't remember everyone. So to take a look here, what they say about the taste notes. So that's the winter tobacco. Well, they say, yeah. Now I remember. They have some waffle, some almond, and some orange cinnamon. Orange cinnamon. So when it comes to these two tobaccos, so let's say that's the winter tobacco, and that's the tobacco of the year. So that's the limited edition 2017. If I had to make a choice between those two backies, so I would go with the winter tobacco. So although it has some orange notes, and orange notes, I don't know, orange notes, for me they are always some kind of difficult to produce, so likes to get too citrus-like or too spicy. So anyway, that's a good tobacco. take the price. The price is 23 euros 60 cent. 60 cent? Yeah, 60 cent. So that brings us to the limited edition 2017 from John Aylesbury. So they say it's some Virginia flake, there's some golden Virginia extra, and they have some cherry in it, and some almond, and some berries. So, guess that's right. So, I show you tobacco. I have a sample here. So that's the tobacco of the year. So that's it. I don't know if you can see that. But it's just the same, or it's always the same. So I don't know if you can see that. And that's some kind of disappointing to me. So why don't they do anything special? So why isn't there a Christmas tobacco, so a flake, let's say, or plug perhaps, or cake? There are many ways to do these things, so we all know that. So I don't know why they don't change that a little bit. So Fred, are you going to leave? It's all right. So you're joking. So yeah, Fred is with me here. So he's always joking around here, trying to break my focus on these things. Yeah. So we have a last tobacco. So I have to get serious. Last tobacco. This is the Peterson. So my apologies. So about German government, just yeah, they just want to have it like that. So I don't know. So that was a fine tin art before. And now you can't even read that it's a season, holiday season tobacco. So anyway, we know that because we know that kind of tin. We see that, I'll tell you what it is. So, unfortunately, I don't know why, but Peterson, they don't put any description here on the tin. So they just write, so in the German version, they just write there's a little bit of black Cavendish and some Virginia. So that's it. I show you the tobacco. So description or not, but in this tobacco, so when it comes to the smell and the taste, so I'm gonna show you that tobacco because this is a little bit different. So look at that tobacco. So this cut is a little bit different and interesting to me. So there are flake parts in it. The cut is very wild. So they use many different cuts for that. So broken flakes, I think, some wild cuts here inside. I don't know, that's really interesting. And it burns pretty well. So it burns really, really nice. And if you smell the tobacco, I don't know, it's some kind of berry mixture to me. So they say they use pineapple for that and different berries. Well, you know these tobaccos. You can't identify a single berry, so I couldn't. But it's a berry mixture. And for me there's also some vanilla in it. So that doesn't sound very unusual, and it isn't. The thing is, that's what I like about the Peterson tobaccos. I think they really provide a fine quality. So I don't know why, but in, I don't know, 4 or 5 cases when it comes to the Christmas tobacco, I stick to the Peterson at the end. The quality is pretty good. They provide a good quality. and smokes very well. Very, I don't know, the tobacco keeps its quality from the first third of the bowl to the last third of the bowl, and that's something I really appreciate. I really appreciate that. So, conclusion. So no, the price of the Peterson is €22.40. €22.40. So now the decision is up to you. It's not an easy decision if you want to go with an aromatic at all. So if you want to go with some of these tobaccos or one of these tobaccos, so for me, I like the Peterson. That's the only tobacco I will buy this year for the Christmas season, Christmas time. But I think the Tonka Bean tobacco from Kohlhase is an interesting one. It's also fine quality, and if you like the Tonka Bean, that could be something for you. And the John Aylesbury winter tobacco is a fine tobacco. You can smoke that. That won't hurt, and has a fine room note, fine smell. So the decision is now up to you. So that's it about the Christmas tobacco for this year. So sorry, been long again, and perhaps a bit chaotic, but it's, I don't know, that's so much stuff this year. I hope you find something of interest for you, and that if you don't like the aromatics, you may find something, some natural stuff. There is good natural stuff out there too, coming over the last several weeks. There are one or two tobaccos I want to talk about the next weeks too, so maybe that is maybe something for you for the Christmas time if you don't like to stick with the aromatics. So, okay, it's your choice now. I hope you are well, and I hope you have a great time until the until Christmas time comes, and we have several weeks to go. So, take care, be well, and perhaps see you again.